Go.
Oh, so the genres that this book falls into, guys: mystery, historical fiction, historical, Christian fiction, plain old fiction, romance. I'm going to skip the best one. Christian, adult, historical mystery, and apparently not a country anymore, it's just a genre, Canada.
It does say cultural Canada at least.
No, not cultural, just Canada.
Oh,
just
mine
Canada.
says cultural and then Canada.
Not in on the first book on Goodreads.
I have no idea.
And then on Amazon, it is categorized as mystery and suspense, religious and inspirational, and religion and spirituality.
Am I just incapable of seeing this? Like, this is a blind spot for me. Is there any of that stuff in here?
Not really.
Well,
Not
he
really.
talks to his priest, and he talks to his sister about talking to the priest. But that's
Little
about
bit.
it.
I don't think that the 2 paragraphs that there are about Christianity in this makes it a Christian book.
No, I don't
agree.
think so either. I think the biggest, Christian theme to me was the, I'm not going to marry a man that, I'm going to have my first kiss for the man I marry thing. What?
Yeah, it was
I
kind
don't
of like
think that was so
woman
much
shaming is
Christian
the
as it
only
was-
part that was.
Right.
Well, I think that was just supposed to be period appropriate. I didn't.
That was,
even see
purity.
that as particularly.
Yeah, it didn't even really
Religion.
ping me as too weird for the time and.
No, I thought that's what I thought too. I was like, okay, this is not awful for the time.
So confused.
So good.
I was like, I have no idea. So
And you did read.
I put so much fucking effort into this one. I tried
I'm so
so
sorry.
hard not to pick another bad book. I tried so hard to find something cute, something breezy, something short, because I had another book that I really wanted to read. So I was like, okay, this ticks all the boxes. It's a mystery. It's set in Canada. That's different. Sherlock Holmes. Yeah, this is fine. We're right on track. This is gonna be great. And then you guys freaking can I use catfished here as because Yas was like, I'm super hyped to talk about this book, and I was like, oh my god, did she like me?
She hates it.
No, I was like, did she like this book? Did my friend who I've known most of my life like this book? And then Amelia was like 9% in. I'm super loving it, and I'm like,
By that point, I almost responded don't.
Yeah, no, they have
right.
Down, guys.
You have to
Yeah.
learn
Let
for
you guys
yourself.
figure that out yourself. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
You
then
have to
so
learn for
sad.
yourself.
motherfuckers, you didn't
Oh my
warn me.
Nope.
God. No.
Really
This
just
book.
goes sharply downhill.
So for anyone watching
Yeah.
this, I think we can do the general consensus is we were not super big fans.
Tell us what book it was, real quick.
This book
Yeah,
that
what
we're
book are we
talking
reading?
about and already shitting on before we've given the title is The Bachelor Girl's Guide to Murder. It is by Rachel McMillan. And it is the blurb tells you that it is a book set in early 1900s Toronto, Canada, and follows the adventures of 2 would-be female detectives of the era who wear trousers and are all out of the way, pops
And Sherlock Holmes.
Except that was a lie
and
too, right?
the Sherlock Holmes fangirls, but they weren't. There was one borderline sociopath and this hateful, whiny bitch with her
Yeah.
random
That is accurate.
back me up, Ray, tuxedo mask or not tuxedo mask. He would just show up and be like, ring ding ding, I am Italiano, and fucking save
If
the
only
day.
he was tuxedo mask.
Oh my god, that might be a redeeming
fuck.
fucking quality, but it just shows up out of fucking nowhere. Every time it feels like there's gonna be a consequence, every time it feels like something of import is gonna happen, no, Ray just shows
Poor
up. And,
Jasper is just
I don't know. I thought I was gonna be the broad character in this. I don't know what's going on. Who's Ray?
For reals.
Oh my
you're
god.
killing me. This is hilarious. This is what I was reading the book for.
This is what
crap.
You don't even have to read the book. We're probably going to tell you everything.
No, don't read the
Yeah,
book.
don't read the book, Rosie.
Don't read the book. It's a waste of time. It's a waste of time.
Okay.
I've read it.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Haven't
Anyone
read it.
watching, don't read the book. Don't read the
Oh, you're
book.
watching.
Don't read the book, guys.
Anybody watching, don't read the book. It's
Don't
not
read
worth
this
it.
book. Don't do it.
It's
Guys, I
best-
read a lot of trashy novels. This book was bad.
No, because this wasn't trashy.
I know.
This was
like-
that's my
that would've
point,
made it
though.
better.
I read a lot of trashy novels. Some of them are really bad. and this is worse than some of
This
the
was-
worst ones of those I've
It was
read.
like reading somebody's 1.5 draft.
Yeah.
Is what it
Yeah.
felt like. And
Maybe we were reading Ray's poetry from his journal.
oh my god, it was like a Jacob's
I
ladder.
did
Ray
not
actually
read
got
the
the shit
poetry.
beat
I
out of him and
totally
he was
skimmed
dying.
that shit.
Yeah, no, I started skimming over anyway. I was like, oh, it's just jamming right wherever. Nah. Just skip,
Yeah.
skip. Whatever.
Really?
I
Just
cannot. Okay, I don't know about y'all, but like I read
poking my Kindle
book
screen.
every day or two is about my general speed for if I'm like reading a regular book. This took me like 4 fucking days, and it's only 200 and
Yeah.
something.
Really? Oh god, I
How?
powered through. I powered through because I'm like, I know there's something better at the other end that I want to read. Like I want to, because I wanted to get onto the second book of the Rogues of the Republic series, and I was like, all right, this is like you gotta eat your veggies. But these were like strychnine poisoned veggies, and they made me mad.
This was like lima beans.
Yeah, like really
Yeah.
badly cooked lima beans with no redeeming value, and the main character's a bitch.
Yeah.
Like
They really
Bella
were terrible.
Swan levels of useless female protagonist. So I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm
Well,
sorry.
we're snarky tonight.
No, you're totally right.
And here's the thing. I hate being mean about this book. I hate it. I don't like shitting on someone's creative endeavor because writing is really hard. And I respect all the effort that went into this. And usually I can like remember how I wasn't like a huge fan of Envy of Angels. But the thing is, I could look at that and be like, this is a better book than the amount that I like it, because it's like not hitting me, but there's like all these redeeming things
Right.
about it, all these good things
It was
about
good, just not for you.
I can't say that about this book,
Yeah.
and that makes me feel terrible.
No, you can't.
It was well edited.
I disagree. I disagree.
It was well
respectfully.
line edited. No, it was well
Line
edited.
edited. Yeah.
Okay, I
It was
did
well
not say
line
out of
edited.
place punctuation. I will
That's,
give it.
that's what I meant, yeah.
Yeah, any
There-
editor would have said, this chapter where you tell all the things that they did, don't tell all the things
Yeah.
that they did.
Show don't
Make
tell.
this 6 chapters that are interesting.
Yeah. And it's like, it really did feel like, and I'm trying to read something now. I'm sorry, I'm trying to write something now, and a lot of times, like, I don't know, when I write, I have to, like, not go in chronological order. It's like, well, I'll just put, like, blah, blah, blah in, like, as a filler, and I'll get on to, like, the next scene I want to write. It feels like somebody went with that draft and then just, like, didn't fill in the blah, blah, blah
Yep.
for some
Yep.
of it.
It
Just
sure
felt like
does.
reading a 1.5 draft.
It was like a more put together rhyme.
Yes.
Whatever. That thing.
NaNoWriMo. They did NaNoWriMo.
NaNoWriMo. I can't
Rhymo.
even. I'm 2 beers in, guys.
Yeah, no, I'm on the rosé train, so.
Yeah.
So why don't we
All
do our format of a little? All of us give a little synopsis of our feelings about it.
Oh, yeah, have we not done that? Okay, yeah.
No.
So, yeah.
Some of you have.
Well, this is my cross to bear, so I will go around. Rosie, what did you think?
It started broadcasting what it was going to be right at the beginning, and I thought, okay, I didn't want to read it by about the 5th page, and I thought I'm going to just do it because I'm in the book club, and that's my job right now. So I did it.
Oh, good job. You powered through.
Fuck it, man. I have a really good book that's
sorry.
waiting for me that I'm going to start tonight. So
Same.
I just didn't. I wanted to like it more, but I didn't. Every time they'd refer to the blonde girl, I'd go, "Who the fuck is the blonde girl?"
Oh, right.
Oh,
It's that. Oh,
right.
yeah.
It's that pushy one.
The
who-
main fucking character.
Yeah, who didn't.
Was she a main character though?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
she was-
debatable. You're right. You're
She
right.
was
I shouldn't.
pushy, and she was rude, and she wasn't kind to her friends, and
Yeah.
I don't know. I felt like they're. Aside from the trope at the end that just killed the whole damn thing for me,
Yeah.
and the weirdness that he was wide awake while she was sneaking out, just bizarre. I felt like they could have built characters that were more likable, but the fact that Miranda, thank you.
Miranda?
So she was just so adamant that she was going to be the next Sherlock Holmes, and you're going to be my Watson. And Jem was like, okay, and had really like no fucking idea what she was doing or what she wanted to do. And I just want a husband. If you want to build the female version of Sherlock Holmes, that's not how you do it.
No.
So anyway, lots of opinions. None of them very kind.
Ooh. Well said, though.
That's it. There you go.
Amelia?
Yeah,
Carlos.
Yeah, let me
Pull your seatbelts, folks.
some anger out there.
Yeah. So I feel like we all need to let this out. This is therapeutic.
What annoyed me the most about the book, I actually put in the questions later, but this book felt like it was trying to be feminist, but missed it in all ways. And actually finding out that it's meant to be sort of Christian/inspirational fiction, sort of explain like why it was. Not that I don't know, because not all Christians, of course. Like, but I get this impression out of a lot of Christian fiction that I have read, which I don't know even how I've encountered it, but I've read a few of these kinds of books written by Christian women, and I just get this sense that there's a certain way that women are supposed to be, and it sometimes clashes with feminism a little bit. And this book felt really uneven because I wanted them to be like badass girls who were out there solving mysteries, but what it felt like, girls who didn't know what the shit they were doing, getting in the way of real men doing what they need to be doing, and that never got cleared up. Is like, no, really, the ladies are just as good. That never happened. They were always just sort of inept and pointless the entire time, and let the men swoop in at the end and solve everything for real. And I was just appalled. I was appalled by the whole. Like, as we kept going, like, the first 10%, I was like, this is going to be good, because that's where I thought we were going, was the women were going to be like, we don't need no men, we're going to be awesome, and we don't need no morality squad and skirts, you know? But then that is not how it went.
It totally set you up to be like, that's where it's going.
Yeah, because that was the premise.
Yeah. But they were more like, just kidding, we do need men, we're kind of dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's like, this is my golden moment, when she does her reveal of how she solved the crime, and the dude in the scene, Jasper, is just sitting back like, I already solved this.
Yeah, like, no, I agree with you, but...
And he just, like, let her look stupid, even though he already knew, and it was just, everything
even
was
though
offensive.
he was ostensibly in love with her.
Right?
For reasons.
It turned out like, the little girls are so cute, but they really aren't really good for much other than, like,
They're not doing anything we couldn't do.
Horrified by how it went. How it was, like, the opposite of what I wanted. So that's what I have to say about it.
Okay. Izzy?
I got duped. I'm not happy about it.
I feel hurt.
Yeah. I know it wasn't you, but like 20%. It's like, okay, this isn't okay. Like, it's not gonna be awful.
Yes, it is.
And I was worried because I hadn't heard from anybody else in our little thread of like feelings.
Yeah, I think we all kind of kept this one on the down.
What if they did it? What if they liked it? And I'm sitting here.
I did that too.
This was really shitty.
Yeah.
And like I was talking a little bit before we started broadcasting, like I'm really mixed because I felt like the idea was there. It started okay, and then it just fucking exploding diarrhea.
Yeah.
And vomit and just everything disgusting and that I don't like.
Yeah. Oh.
And like
the worst mystery ever. There was no mystery. I knew.
Seriously.
It was Scooby-Doo rules. It was Scooby-Doo rules. There was only one other named character who wasn't a protagonist. It has to be him.
Well, there were two. It was him or the mayor.
It was him or the mayor who never appears on screen
for
more than
I
a few
mean,
minutes.
we heard the mayor's name, but we never met him.
Yeah. It's Scooby-Doo rules. They're going to spend the money on an animation cell for Old Man Jenkins. That means Old Man Jenkins has to be the bad guy.
Yeah,
he's got away with
Scooby-Doo rules
it,
of
too.
mystery solving.
For those
you know it's going to be him the minute you meet him.
Well, I mean, actually, the police, because like those girls were like just whatever.
Ugh. It telegraphs who it's going to be in the first two sentences of introducing the guy. You're like, oh, he's the guy.
Yeah. Oh, okay,
Good
we
to
got
know.
the villain. Let's do this. Okay.
Everything about the book telegraphed everything about the book.
Yeah.
Ness. Let's save the best for last.
I was offended as a Christian, as a Canadian, as a journalist. Like, this book offended me on every level of who I am.
Oh my god, I hadn't even
Most
thought
of the
about your journalism
journalists
feelings.
in this book are horrible at their jobs and also horrible human beings.
I had written in there,
Wait,
Ray.
that's not a requirement to be a journalist? What? You're not
According to
supposed to
media,
hide. You're not supposed to take money and hide information?
you're not
Oh,
supposed to
goodness.
sleep with your source? What?
What?
Oh, shit. It's a good thing I'm not a journalist.
Yeah, seriously.
No.
God.
Well then.
Oh, this book was
Glad
just
I'm
bad
not.
on every level. On every level. The only, like, she lives in Toronto, and she got the city wrong. Like, how is that even possible?
I recognized a couple of names,
Everything-
though.
Did she get this?
Well, yeah,
I've never been to whatever you call that city.
Sure, no. Sure,
You
no.
non-native
Toronto.
people could call it however you want.
Toronto.
Oh, you're not gonna yell at us the whole time?
No,
Okay.
no, it's fine. I'm gonna yell at this. I'm gonna save my vitriol for this terrible book.
Cool.
It's like she Googled, like, she lives there. I just looked it up. She lives in Toronto, which is weird. But it's like
That
she
is
just
weird.
Googled, like, what are the main intersections in the city, and then popped those.
That was like
And that was
when
it.
I read 50 Shades and they went to Savannah in that book and I like went to college outside Savannah, Georgia. I'm like, no, nope.
All of the no. Hey, Stephanie Plum books. Me going like, that's not Trenton. That's not even.
Yeah,
Trenton.
I can't read those books at all.
I
No,
read a book between the last one and this one that I told you guys about on the Twitter conversation, and it was set in San Francisco, and it was spot on, and I loved it. It made me super giddy to be like, oh, I know where that is, and I know where that is, and I know where that is.
Right? And that's what I was
sitting there like,
expecting to get in this book.
It's not that hard.
We were all
It's not
expecting a lot of
fucking
things.
no. Yeah.
Yeah.
Every
I was expecting a lot of
expectation.
things, and it did not happen.
Every
Yeah.
expectation was let down in a way that was like sad.
Yep.
Like,
Yeah.
Hey,
like it took me a while to even ratchet up like this kind of anger. I was just sad at first.
I was too.
Like, this has got to, there's got to be something better. There's got to be something more here. Like, come on, nobody publishes this. Nobody hands this out. Nobody shows this to more than just like their editor. But no,
It is so not worth what's being charged for it.
No.
I feel,
no.
yeah, I feel betrayed. Like, I feel betrayed at every level.
I am not happy. At least I was able to lend it to Ness, and like
Yeah,
true.
saved some
the $7.99 wasn't as hard of a hit to me because we were able to lend it.
Yeah.
But when a book takes me 5 days to read and it's not super long,
Yeah,
Yeah.
like no.
I
Right,
went through this.
it took me days to read it because it was so bad, and I kept putting it down and picking something else up instead.
Yeah,
Same.
I couldn't focus on it.
I kept going to audiobooks because I was like, I can't with this.
I am a very slow reader, so like saying that it takes like 3 or 4 days to get through a book is not weird for me. But like I went through this book like medicine because I knew that I had to like just take my medicine and then I can read something good. It was, and the thing is like we haven't even really gotten into the substance of what makes this so like genuinely tragic a book.
Nope, let's get these questions.
Yeah, let's do these
actually.
questions.
I feel like these questions express a lot of our anger.
Yeah. I didn't want to write anything because I was like, no, they have to suffer too. They have to figure out. They have to know how bad it is.
I know, I opened it, I was like, all right, I guess I'll
Okay.
go first. And wrote a bunch.
Let's talk about. Oh yeah, no, we've got a lot of just. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about that. So yeah, we already figured out. Did you know who the murderer was pretty quickly? I said yes based on Scooby-Doo rules, but
Yeah. It was kind of the thing of like, as soon as you saw his behavior, whatever his name was, Gavin,
Gavin.
I was like, oh, he's totally the bad guy.
it's like, oh, that's the bad guy. Okay, I don't know what quite happened yet, but yeah, I think we found the bad guy.
Yeah.
And how about this? This was a cute question that was very. Whoever wrote it was being very charitable. What did you think of the world being built? Anyone on the world building?
Oh, I have to say, one thing that I really thought was fascinating was the horse-drawn carriages and the automobiles at the same time. Like
That's always a
when
good
running across the street.
visual.
I like that. That was about all I liked, though.
I wrote this because I was thinking about the fact that this is a series,
Mm.
and I really
right,
was
it
like,
is.
where are
Where
we
are we going?
going?
It's a
With
great question. I don't
the-
I
care.
feel like they've exposed all corruption now, right? So
Yeah.
Like,
what's left?
You got the big bad journalist.
well, Miranda
That's
still needs to
coming
get
for you.
married, so...
Well, you can still follow Tony to Chicago. I hear that place got pretty corrupt.
My
Oh,
God,
yeah.
that was the thing. Okay,
That
Yeah.
wrap-up was fascinating.
that made me angrier than the rest of the novel combined. When he's like sitting there contemplating how he doesn't have to take care of his abused sister anymore.
Yeah,
So
like,
yay,
well,
now he
I'm
can
free to
keep
go do
his
something
money.
else. I'm free
Like,
to go do
that
something
was
else.
right.
I was
Jesus
like,
fucking
I'm
Christ.
sorry, what? Like, okay, go off to Chicago with your abusive dick boyfriend, husband, whatever. And yay, me, I have extra money to have this girlfriend now. I was like, oh. Like,
Everyone is hateful and terrible. That's the world that's been built.
just
Everyone is hateful and
horrified.
terrible.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Oh, God. And then another just, like sweet summer child's questions. Where do you think it went off the rails? Just, where to begin?
Was it ever on the rails?
It was.
It
That
was,
very
I don't
first
think it was.
opening scene, like, you understood what was going on, you had an idea of what the character archetypes were, you had your fake Sherlock, your fake Watson, and your fake Lestrade. Okay, cool, they're looking at
I
some
thought-
bodies. And then
When her
immediately
pants fell off.
When the pants fell off. I was just
Yeah.
thinking that.
Yeah.
I think when the pants fell off, or even partially when like the race, like the switches between Ray and the girls
Yeah.
started happening more.
I would say the
It's
second
kinda
Ray
when-
became a POV
because
character.
I started reading, and I'm like, wait, did I miss something? Because it switched. I had no idea it switched.
Yeah.
Why do I need this dude's point of view? I don't understand. And I never did understand why we needed
Yeah.
this dude's point
Why
of view.
why are we following Ray? I don't care about Ray.
Yeah.
I don't care.
See,
I
I
bought...
would argue that it was never on the rails because it was using our understanding of characters that already exist instead of doing its own characterization. Like, it was using the fact that we all know who Sherlock Holmes is, we all know who Dr. Watson is, we all know who Lestrade is, instead of building her own characters.
Mhm.
It's not
Make
wrong.
it more
I mean,
interesting.
she kind of tried to build her own characters, and then she just built crazy people.
Yeah, no, she built a sociopath, a bitch, and tuxedo mask. That's it.
Yeah.
That, like, it's
But
just-
not even good tuxedo mask.
I know,
Like,
it was a
come
bad
on.
version, but like this reference is basically just like in Sailor Moon, her boyfriend just shows up and like throws a rose melodramatically to like save their ass, and then like he can't do anything else, and everybody with the superpowers has to do shit. But every time there is like an actual fucking consequence that's about to happen, fucking Ray shows up. Meanwhile, let's talk about Ray. Fucking Ray. Why? Why was Ray? Why was Ray?
There was no
Why?
need to have the character at all. And the fact that he became like, now he's doing all the actual investigative work and just sort of following around the women in case they're in trouble. Again, it was like, we were going to go feminist, but instead, the story's going to be about this dude. Like,
Well, you gotta find her a husband, man.
Well,
Yeah.
okay. So I
Jemima
thought,
is
at first I was like,
My
okay,
eyes
this
are
is
rolling, if you
a love
can't tell.
interest. That's fine. You know, I get
Yeah.
that. Like, let's have the love
Sure,
interest.
that's fine.
And then
Watson
it just,
gets
like-
married at the end of what is it, Sign of 4 or Studying Scarlet? Sign of 4. He gets married at the end of Sign of 4. So like, yeah, having a Watson
And-
marry off is fine.
That's fine. But like, this is not that.
No, no, no.
No, he becomes the person who, he becomes the protagonist.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like, basically substituting in for the women.
He's the one who has all of like the action happening in his life. They are the female protagonists, such as they are passive observers the whole time, and I don't think anything demonstrates that better than that fucking ending. But we'll get to that, I guess.
Yeah, Ray was just useless.
Why Ray? No, he was the only useful person there, and that's part of the problem. Like,
Well,
he
I
actually
mean,
accomplished stuff.
yeah. Well, no, like he was like a useless like romance plot device, but not in
Yeah.
a good way.
Yeah,
I mean, there was no banging, so who cares?
I know.
No, they can't kiss. Oh, I guess they can kiss. She
No, they
flexed
did
her
kiss, but then
rule.
we got-
She
we gotta
kissed
get-
him. She like rammed.
Yeah, yeah, she
There
did
was a
head
kiss.
was
To be
mild.
fair, I actually thought that
Yes.
was kind of cute. Like,
That was
Except
mildly
for
racist.
like
kiss was
awfully,
kind of nice.
like
head
how
patted him,
I
yeah.
rammed my face into your face. This is how we kiss, right?
I think that's cute though for a very first kiss ever. Like,
That was at
sometimes
least,
it
like-
is awkward.
Funny. That was at least like funny because it cemented me like Jem is terrible at everything. Jemima is terrible at everything.
Except
Every-
for being wistful.
Except for
she
being what?
Wistful.
She
It
looked
was
what?
like these two, and they just went like that. Ow! I dropped
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, like that. That's how it went.
Just like,
Like,
ah.
like two action figures mashing together.
Oh, this is kisses. I'm
Now
trying to kiss you.
kiss.
That was the
But
worst.
I will say there was like 10 pages where I was like, I kind of think that this book might have figured itself out again. It was like 10 pages around like the 200 mark, where like it kind of was like focusing on the girls. They were, you know, figuring out what investigations were like. They were hanging out with the guy Jasper. And it was like almost 10 pages where I was like, okay, this isn't a good book, but I'm like, okay, I'm calm. I'm not filled with rage. And then Ray showed up. And then it flipped back to Ray, and I was like, God
He was just
fucking
like,
damn it.
with his rose, and
Yeah, he threw down his rose and just like, aha, I am el importante guy.
Literally
Yes.
appeared from nowhere.
Nowhere, and no one
times.
asked for him because he
With
wasn't
no
involved.
reason to be there. Yeah.
No reason to be there other than like if he wasn't there to fix everything, the female protagonist might actually have like some, you know, tension or conflict or growth or have literally anything happen with their characters.
Yep.
Yep. Well, let's talk about Miranda.
I didn't like her.
Yeah, she was
oh,
just awful.
So I had like
She is
5
the
seconds
worst
while I was
friend.
like, look, she's a terrible person. But I was
Yeah.
like, I really don't like her at all. And then I had 5 seconds of actual useful thought. With like, whoa, maybe it's like it's a commentary about how women have to be likable and blah, blah. And then I was like, no, fuck that. She's
Yeah.
just a bitch.
That's the thing. If that had been the point, that would have actually been very clever. But this book doesn't have a clever word in it. So
No.
yeah, like
You know, if they had developed that relationship between the two of them,
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
would have actually, well, it would have been very much like the Sherlock that comes out of BBC, right? Like,
Mhm.
Yeah.
regular guy and eminently unlikable guy somehow balance each other out and make each other better.
at first,
That would
Because
have been
there was,
cool.
like, there was a
Right.
real relationship between those characters.
Yeah, like, they're friends
Sherlock
for a
cares
reason.
about Watson.
Yeah.
Right.
But he's not
right.
great at showing it.
But there was
That's not
zero
it.
relationship
Yeah.
built between these two.
I
and
thought
couldn't
Jemima
for-
hated her.
That's what it felt like.
I don't know
like,
why she didn't.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot to hate, but
Yeah.
the thing is, my impression was that Jemima just like hated everything and everyone except for Ray for reasons, like she just didn't like anything. I never found like a redeeming feature, but
No,
apparently
fair.
Miranda solved crimes, so I guess that's redeeming. I never saw her do it.
Right?
But-
She didn't actually solve any crimes in the book.
Well,
Yeah.
no. She figured out where Jem and that other woman were being
That's
held.
true. That is
She
true.
did one thing.
She
Yeah.
did
Yeah.
one.
like she's
One-
a really bad Sherlock, guys. Like
Yeah.
Really not good at
she
it.
needs to rethink their
Really not good at it.
free detective agency.
Yeah, like, why aren't you?
That's Sherlock?
That was annoying too. Like, why aren't you charging money?
Yeah,
Like,
because
why are you
she's like
underselling
independently
yourself,
wealthy
lady
or something.
detective?
But
Like,
she's not
I found it to be devaluing.
Her.
Right. Well, and Jem still has to work, so she's working
Yeah.
a full-time job, and then Miranda is dragging her out at all hours of the night to go do stuff that she doesn't
Which-
want to do.
Yeah,
Well,
for
she's
sure.
always
Every
like a
second of it.
doctor. So
Yeah.
cool that she's just a clerk at a store.
Was Jemima studying to be a doctor?
Yeah.
No.
Or one of them was.
No,
No.
was.
Miranda
was.
previously
Yeah.
was.
Yeah.
Well, she went to university too, though, so she studied to do something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we never found that out though.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
you know what degree
like
women
Miranda-
got.
The
Oh,
MRS.
That's right.
Yeah.
She Miranda was like a really sloppy attempt at a Sherlock.
It was like
Yeah.
just half-hearted. It was so
Yeah.
half-hearted.
Like, you can't make Sherlock unlikable with no redeeming qualities, or
Right.
nobody likes him.
Exactly.
Like, he's just an asshole now.
Yeah, like he's awkward, but he's like a useful awkward, and his
Mhm.
awkwardness about people really plays into how he makes his deductions. This was just like she's a borderline sociopath who
Yeah.
really liked this book series, and now she's like, you know, gonna go wear pants. I don't know.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
force her friend to wear pants.
Yes, and also
Even
force
though
her friend to wear pants.
Even though she doesn't want to. Yeah,
Yeah,
like,
she doesn't want to participate in any of this shit. She's just like, you're my Watson, but like, no, she's not. She's a barnacle.
But she didn't have enough efficacy to say no. Like, no, I'm not interested in putting on these too large pants and wandering
she
around.
did eventually say no, but then Miranda just like steamrolled her over.
Yeah.
But then she also decided, yes, I do want to be a lady detective, and proceeds to get damseled. I don't know why would she ever hit that yes moment? Everything about this has been miserable for her.
Yep.
Worst plots ever.
They're terrible.
Sherlock, like, just awful.
Yeah.
And like I said, Jemima wins the Bella Swan Award for excellence in being a useless female protagonist. Absolutely useless.
She's there to get kidnapped.
Ness, answer for your countrymen. Was the Morality Squad actually like a thing? Did Toronto ever have like a super Victorian, like, ladies shouldn't go out?
Kind of. So more so, I don't know if you guys read the author's note at the end.
I did.
I was done.
Yeah, I did, and she's like, the Morality Squad is completely a figment of my imagination. False. Like, it was not a squad as such, like, but there were laws in Toronto at the turn of the previous century where women were not allowed to congregate after dark. Women were not allowed to be like walk around without a male escort. Toronto does have this Victorian history that it's largely shed for the most part. But so like, okay, fine, morality squads with thugs wandering around did not exist. But there was like I can't even think of the word, but basically this law was women who were by themselves must be engaging in prostitution, and so there is no reason for women to be out by themselves, and so we're just going to arrest them.
See, that would have been fun to see on book camera too, if they had been arrested or gotten in actual trouble.
Yeah.
Right. Besides just getting assaulted by some dude in an alley.
And then getting promptly
Slash
rescued
getting
by Ray.
kidnapped.
Yeah. Getting kidnapped. Yeah, that too. I don't fucking know.
You know, I was sitting here thinking there were no good lady characters, but I'm actually wrong. Cat and Mouse were delightful.
Yes, they were delightful.
They were very
Why they
Something
weren't
about
in the
Cat and
book, I don't know.
Mouse?
I don't know why they
Well,
were
okay,
in the
not
book.
from this author. Somebody write me some fanfic, stat, please.
Right? Like, they would be so fun to read about.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
the thing. I feel like you could have written a good book out of this premise. You could have done so much stuff. There's just like, all right, stop at the Ray POV, make Jasper more of a stand-in for Lestrade, staple the camera, the POV camera to the back of Jemima's head, make her less useless, like have her have been in nursing or something, and you can get a good book out of this.
Totally. I mean, it's the Irregulars, right? Or the Unusual, or
the Baker Street Irregulars, yeah.
Yeah.
Which I felt like they just had them. Like, Cat and Mouse were only in this, the Irregulars were only in this because that's a thing that Sherlock Holmes does, so I guess we have them too.
Right.
Yes.
Right. Which is too bad because they were very cool.
Like, yeah.
I was
They were like
definitely
little kids,
curious. Like, I wanted to know more about them, like, getting information.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
So that would have involved actually writing something that, had consequence and an outcome. So,
Yeah.
I feel like we've already discussed the characterization.
Yeah. Let's talk about that ending.
Yeah, let's talk about that ending. What ending, eh? So, anybody want to explain what actually happened?
I'll do it.
Yeah.
So Jim gets kidnapped, and Miranda, whatever the hell her name is, decides to reveal what happened to Jasper, and Jim's getting kidnapped at like the same time, and then Ray shows up, and it's like, we have to go. She's being kidnapped. We gotta get the cops, and then she gets rescued.
By the cops.
Yeah.
By the cops.
By the cops. Miranda.
And Miranda's like, I know everything that happened, and they're all like, yeah, you're too late.
Well, and what's weirder, Miranda goes down there and lets herself get kidnapped too, and is all like, "Everything's great. I figured it out. Don't worry about us, Jim."
She's like, "We'll be fine. Don't worry." Like, the cops
for
are
no reason.
smart.
Right, but without saying like, "Don't worry, help us on the way," like without comforting her friend who is in the middle of a panic attack, thinking that she's about to die.
She had no purpose for going down there either.
No.
Like, it wasn't part of a plan.
Like, I thought maybe it was a distraction? I wasn't sure. I couldn't
think
tell.
it was an attempt at a distraction, but not a well-written distraction.
Yeah.
And then the best part of the ending happens. It's so romantic.
I barely read this part.
Ray sells his abused sister up the river.
Yeah.
Ray's sister goes to Chicago with Tony because there's more work opportunities there.
And maybe he'll change. It'll be
And maybe
different
he'll
this time.
change, and he's going to provide for her and Luca,
yeah.
okay. And Ray romances Jem, and
Now that his
they
baggage
kiss
sister
again, and they sneak into that theater, and he surrounds her in a garden, and oh my god, guys, it's so romantic.
Right. It was the Harry Potter fucking Hunger Games happily ever after bullshit.
Yep.
It was the worst.
It was the actual
It was
worst.
terrible.
Yeah.
It was like the fact that Miranda had no hand in like getting the generic bad guy caught. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? I know endings are hard, but this is so basic. So
This was
basic.
like-
At least have your ostensible main characters participate.
Beyond predictable, because the minute they mentioned that tunnel, I was like, oh, that tunnel's
Yep.
coming up later.
Well, and they mentioned it at least twice.
Yep,
Multiple
they sure
times,
do.
over and
Not
over
subtly.
again. No.
Like the photographer just walks up and goes, "Did you guys know there's a tunnel under here?"
You're
Like
right.
apropos of nothing.
I
Hey,
definitely
girls,
should
did
dump.
you know?
That
worked
part
in
is
that
true,
NaNoWriMo
though.
novel.
That part
Tunnel.
is true now. There are tunnels underneath Toronto.
That is
so
very
I'm
cool.
sure.
that's accurate.
But the other thing is, like, so much of the information that, you know, they eventually use, not the two detective ladies, they do nothing, but characters other than them eventually use to, like, kind of save the day, is literally handed to them on a silver platter. Like when Jasper and Miranda go to the Derby, and they literally overhear the two least subtle bad guys just going like, about the boss's plan. Yeah,
Entire
see?"
plot, seriously.
Yeah, they were just like, let me explain my boss's evil plot so that the character obviously eavesdropping on us can, like, go to the next plot point. Alright, cool.
Yeah. So bad.
Like, anytime they had a chance to do something clever, it was like, woo, dodged a bullet on that one. Let's just have somebody else off screen do it instead.
Yep.
Why write it when I can just
Yeah, just say it. I mean, we have to get the information to them
tell
somehow.
you what happened instead of showing you?
Yeah. But telling's so much easier. And besides, I want to write more stuff about Ray, and like, he's totally dreamy.
Oh my god, and he writes poetry.
He writes poetry, but he's like not very good at it, which is like a really good, like, you know, he's not perfect. He's got like little flaws.
And then he speaks to me in Italian, and I
oh
just
my god.
Well, in that setup where he gets all mad at her for stealing his journal.
Yeah, she's the
I was
worst.
like, I've seen this in every movie ever. I'm bored.
Yeah. It's also like, Jem is the worst for doing that. Like, she was
Right.
never going to give it back. She was never going to be like, oh, turns out my landlady, you know, didn't wash it. She
what I
put this
didn't
in
get. Like, why
pocket.
just like, oh yeah, I kept meaning to get this back to you. My landlady, like my whatever lady, found it.
She didn't destroy it. Isn't that great? Now you don't have to be like sad that all your memoirs are gone. By the way, I read your diary. I love you. Let's get married. Oh my god, she was so unbearable. That's the thing. I don't know how much more we can really talk about this because this book was just unbearable. And also, I want to also point out the thing that like really hit me first off the bat was the fuck with the footnotes. I was trying to figure out. I was trying to figure out if they were just trying
They
to
were
like,
so unneeded.
I was trying to figure out if they were supposed to be like sassy Terry Pratchett footnotes, but they weren't. They were
No.
just
They were super pedantic.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry, if you're not Terry Pratchett and you're not Mary Roach, maybe don't do footnotes.
Yeah,
don't do
don't do
footnotes. Your fiction
Unless
book
you're
doesn't
like
need-
a history book or
Yeah.
some shit like that. Like a fiction novel, generally speaking, should not have footnotes.
Yeah, unless you're Terry Pratchett, unless they're like
Right,
the
and
sassy Terry Pratchett
She is
footnotes.
not
She's
very
not
Pratchett.
Terry Pratchett. I'm not even sure she's E.L. James.
Ooh, burn.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, we'll say 50 Shades was better than this book.
I
Yeah.
can't speak to that, but
I would say, yeah, in some ways a lot better because there was more story in that whole trilogy than there was in this book.
now what about Immortal Highlander?
I would read Bear all over again instead
Yeah.
of reading this
Oh,
book.
so did I manage to get a Pancake Sex Book Club new low?
Yeah.
I think so.
So,
I'm
I was
impressed.
saying something, and I had no idea. This was
It's
not
a
my
different
intent.
kind of low, though.
yeah, like Bear I knew was going to be bad. I knew it was going to be
Right.
hilarious.
No idea. Because
Like,
if you look at Goodreads,
I
like
felt so bad. I was like,
She tried.
I tried so
this
hard,
isn't
you
your
guys.
fault.
But I
You could not have
basically-
anticipated this.
I basically reactivated my Goodreads account because I was like, never again. Never again. I'm going to go do even more research. Never again.
Look,
You
guys.
can't trust the reviews though because they have burned us before.
I looked at
Oh,
it.
well, because
I looked
reviews
at a
are
lot of
written by
those-
average people who don't look at what they're reading. They just go, that made
Hang
me
on.
feel good.
Hang on. I looked at some of those like top reviews that are like on that first page. A lot of them were given the book by the publisher.
Yeah, it's true.
Mm-hmm.
Which is fine. That doesn't necessarily make it a bad
that's right.
review.
That's what you
Suspicious.
All
do.
the time that I give like 2 stars, and I'm like, no.
Suspicious.
Yeah. No, that's how you review.
I'm saying this is somebody who's never gotten a freebie anything, so.
Yeah. It's
Wait, no,
actually
I-
legit
that's
to
how
get a
book
free
reviews-
book.
Wait, no, I got a
That's how
pack of
book
tissues in
reviews
Japan. I got a pack of tissues in Japan. That was my
Join
most
the
recent
galley. Get all the free books
Yeah.
you want.
Exactly.
sign for the what?
Galley.
Galley.
Okay.
You can publish them on Can't Talk.
That's
Okay.
right. That's what I did.
Yeah, true. By the way,
I
I
just
know
signed
where
up
you
for like a shitty blog and did that, and now I just publish on my Goodreads only. A lot of people only publish to Goodreads on
Yep.
there too.
That's fairly common. Yeah.
Oh my god. So yeah. Oh, header to chapter
thank
6,
you.
perhaps.
For picking another book to push me a little bit closer to almost hitting 100 books in June.
I mean, yeah,
So I mean, I'm 8 away. I might manage it.
it was
I
short.
don't have to read this.
That was my thing. It was short. That was one of the
Yeah.
things I was really looking for. At least it's over. We don't have to read it anymore.
Very true.
We can flip off all the other like books in the series. Because no, you burned me once.
There's like 3, like 0.5.
Right. She does all these like weird
1.5.
half books.
What?
Oh
It's
yeah,
like-
from like other POV characters, like maybe the fucking photographer guy has like a
Oh,
POV, has like a
no.
book that's a
It's
22.
why?
I went to the ball for da-da-da, and then I approached the lady detectives to talk to them about the stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
I just had to blurt out information about a tunnel.
Yeah. Something. There was
I couldn't restrain myself.
There was a voice in my head saying, the lady detective needs to know about the tunnels. So I walked over and told her. I don't know what force told me to do that. Probably the writer. But, I don't know. It's just, I hate being this negative about a book. I hate it.
I do too, because I know it's like that's the thing. It's like it's a lot of work to write a book, but
Jesus Christ. Like, and sorry, I know it's Christian fiction, so maybe just like, man alive. I don't know what the fuck happened here. And the thing is, this got published.
Yeah.
Published.
That's what I was doing. I was looking at
They
the
took
publisher.
8 of my
Who's the
dollars for
publisher?
this.
Harvest House.
It's not the publisher.
But like, is it a real publisher or is it one of those basically self-pub?
Harvest
also-
House sounds like a Christian publisher for sure.
But they also
doesn't
took
it?
8 of my dollars. So I'm
Right?
like,
Rude.
it's
tried- this was not an
severely
$8
overpriced.
it was not.
Guys,
What?
as soon as I searched it brought up Harvest House Ministries and
Oh,
ChristianBook.com.
Oh,
fuck
no.
that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Sorry,
I just went
Not
from
your fault.
Amazon.
they have published such treasures as Color the Names of God, an adult coloring book for your soul.
I like coloring books.
I do too.
God.
It's the best name ever.
I fucked up real bad. I'm sorry. I'm
The
sorry.
Husband Project.
I'm
It's
sorry.
so not your fault. So not
Also,
your
fault.
it looks like they
Project.
don't do editing.
I guess not. But this didn't even feel like it needed an editor. This felt like it needed the author to go back and be like, let me polish up some of the bits.
Which an
Maybe
editor
she
can help
read
you.
The
We add some
Husband
connective tissue.
Project, and then she wrote this book. I don't know what the Husband Project is about. I'm just assuming she read it and then was like, I should write a book about a woman who really, really needs a husband,
Oh my god.
but based it in Sherlock Holmes style
Oh my god.
history.
Oh my god, this publishing company has been around since 1974, and it publishes 160 new books a year. There's your problem.
Fucking damn.
Wow.
None of this
Plenty
stuff
of
showed up when I was looking things
now.
up. Oh my god. I really do
Alright.
feel betrayed now. I fucked
Lessons
up.
learned.
Should we do the rest of these questions, or should we end with the header to
I think we
chapter
kind of
six?
did. Yeah, we kind of
Huh.
did.
I think we
cover
should
everything.
do the romance. We didn't really cover.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Why did they
shoehorned
do
in
romance? Why? Well, other than the fact that women need men in order to be complete.
Yeah, like I
duh.
thought maybe I can forgive the fact that the mystery was so shit because it was a romance novel, and a lot of times you see that with romance novels shoving in like secondary plot.
It was
Except this felt more like a
mystery.
mystery that shoehorned in a shitty romance. Or
It
two
did.
shitty romances.
And a gross, like, women can't do anything kind of romance.
Yeah.
It was like
Well,
bad both.
I really wondered if they felt the need to put a romance in to make it forgivable. That otherwise, if there wasn't a romance, it would have looked like a Boston marriage. You know what I mean?
Right.
And
That was
would
like
not be
totally
okay.
what I thought it was going to be like, the book.
Yeah,
Right?
I was
Yeah.
waiting for that. I was like, yeah, lady detectives doing it for themselves. Oh wait, they can't actually do anything. All right, cool.
Yeah, I was ready for
Yeah.
some lady lesbian
I just
detectives.
could
but that did
not
go down.
believe the
Or like
rating.
even if they were
So
just buddies, the
Yeah,
ratings
or
are
that.
so ridiculous. Like it's like, oh my god, this is so great. Like no, it's not. It's just not. Like I feel like I'm taking crazy pills. I don't. This is very upsetting. I'm knitting very quickly in response to just how infuriated I was by this book. Just
That's amazing.
I need to do something with my hand so I don't just strangle my microphone.
Yeah. This book was bad at everything it tried.
Yes,
I'm
and
just
I hate
looking at the
saying
reviews
that.
getting more angry, guys.
Yeah.
I know. This
That's
isn't
true.
healthy.
Okay,
Maybe we should just do ratings then.
let's do ratings.
Well, let's
Nuggets.
do the
Right.
header to chapter 6.
Oh yeah,
Read
this was
that
actually
and
this was
let's go straight into
this
rating.
right here. Whoever wrote this, it was more clever than anything was actually in the book. The header to chapter. It might have been
The author wrote it.
yeah.
The author wrote it at the beginning, and I was lying in bed last night, like 11:30 at night, and I got to chapter 6, and I read that and went, "Fuck yeah, I got to remember where that is because this author needs to take a piece of her own medicine."
The quote is, "Focus on the art of acceptance when it doesn't all come together in the way you had planned." Maybe eventually I'll learn to forgive myself for this, but right now, new high score of terrible.
Good job, good job.
Sorry.
All right,
I'm
how many
sorry.
chicken nuggets?
So not your fault.
Like, do we even give nuggets for this one?
Yeah, I want to hear everybody's nugget rating.
All right, well, Rosie, I'll go with you.
I'm going to give it a nugget because it had line editing that was very thorough.
Yeah, that is true. That is true.
That's gonna go in my review on Goodreads. Quote,
Yeah.
line editing was
It was
very thorough.
A-okay. Amelia?
Half a nugget dipped in that gross teriyaki sauce. Offended
Oh,
me.
God.
I am offended.
God. Izzy?
A nugget, but like one of those itty bitty like crappy ones you get sometimes in your nuggets, like
I like the little
Oh,
leftover ones.
like kind of like usually Chick-fil-A nuggets will have them, like the itty bitty ones, and then that and like their Polynesian sauce, which I hate, and then like maybe some other random shit on top.
That fell on the floor. The nugget.
Some warm
Yeah, and
cinnamon
then
lettuce.
it
floor
fell on the
nugget.
floor and got a little dusty.
Yeah. Mess.
0 nuggets. It gets nothing from me.
Nothing.
If I could give it
I will
negative
not rate
nuggets,
this.
You had to give it a 1 on Goodreads because they don't
I
accept
had to give it a 1 on Goodreads. But if I could give it 0, if I could
You
give
know,
it
I
negative
was like,
nuggets,
yes, gave this a 2 when I first started reading it. I was like, oh no.
that was a trick.
I
Because
figured.
I
I was like,
really
Okay.
give it a 1.
Yeah, no, you really did. You did like the Prestige or some shit to, you know, you're like, oh
You was
god,
like,
I wonder what's
I'm
gonna
not
happen.
say anything.
It was
Did
so
she get
bad.
hit in the head? Did something happen?
I know,
Do
I was
need to
like-
be worried.
Has she been kidnapped and this is a sign?
Yeah, like did she get Jemima'd? Did she get Jemima'd and she's just like waiting for some small Italian Canadian to come save her?
Oh.
I don't know. God. Yeah. Well, meanwhile, yeah, I could just by the stars of like what you have to do for Goodreads. It is one sad floor nugget that my cat licked.
and we are all in the minority according to Goodreads because
I know,
it has like a
Goodreads.
3.87.
Oh,
Well, so here's the
shit.
thing about the 5 of us versus the general populace on
The
Goodreads.
unwashed masses. Yeah, yeah.
Right. We're clearly more thoughtful and more intelligent and just better people.
Hmm.
Oh,
I
I'm
don't
not
think
feeling
I'm
very
better.
nice
I just
right
have
now.
very different taste, apparently.
Yes.
Apparently, there are
But I'm
only
not very
5.
young.
There are only 5 1-star reviews of this book.
You and I are
Oh,
two of them.
Even.
And we're like 2 of them now. Right
Yeah.
now.
You,
I'm the
Eris, and
third.
I are.
Wait, hold on. I'm logging in to rate mine. 'cause
Yeah,
I couldn't
get
do
in
it on the
specifically.
Kindle.
Let's
So
let's.
on that note, I'll close us out real quick here and announce my book for next month.
Which is so good. I'm so happy.
We're gonna
That's
read
right.
Dumpling
Dumpling.
Yay!
by Julie Murphy.
It looks cute.
It's
Then again, so did mine.
No, it actually is
I know,
cute.
I know.
yeah, I made
I
Ness
thought
stop
we were
reading
doing
this.
Yeah.
time travel or something or other.
That's the
No,
next.
that's the next one after this one.
That's
Oh,
August.
oh,
It's self-proclaimed fat girl Willow Dean Dixon, dubbed Dumplin' by her former beauty queen mom, decides to compete in a beauty pageant.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm like skimming it and reminding myself.
It's just so joyous. It's delightful.
I am excited. I think this will be well worth our time. I think it's right up our alley
Yeah.
too. Like I was like I said, I saw Ness and I was like, Ness, you have to stop. We're doing it. I wanted to do it for book club. So yeah, we'll be back in July. I don't know when yet, but we'll be back in July, and I'll announce that. But
We'll recover
goodbye. I'm gonna turn this off so we can continue ranting.
Yeah. Okay.
Bye.
Bye. Sorry.